Hi Aquarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for August 2013, and of course the Sun is in your opposite sign Leo at the moment, which means in some respects it's not a time to be going it alone, but in other respects you're probably happier alone, and by that I mean in the area of work. There's quite a lot of emphasis on that at the moment, and it's pretty positive as well because you've got Jupiter in that sector there until July next year. So I'm going to start with Jupiter actually. Jupiter is in an area to do with work, that's to say work that you do for others. So it's a service orientated area, it's assistance that you can give others, but also employment, work that you're doing for yourself, so self-employment. And there's going to be no shortage of opportunities to learn and grow through employment matters or daily duties, chores that you've got to do, and also through health matters. And that might be your own, that might be somebody else's. But the indications are that you'll get the chance to experience new methods, get new skills, new strings to your bow, share your knowledge with others, and also be more appreciated by employers or co-workers or those for whom you're providing this service. And you Aquarians born between 26th of January and the 4th of February, or with 7 to 15 degrees of Aquarius rising, are going to feel this energy the most. And I'm starting from Jupiter because there's quite an emphasis on that area. So the broad sweep in that area is Jupiter. Now coming more down into specifics, we've got Mercury in that area there, which as well, and Mercury has been there since the very last day of May, focusing your mind more on schedules, conversations really centered around maybe the employment market or work or chores or health matters. And if you wouldn't label it anything of that like that, then I would say probably a way to describe it would be conversations having a real practical slant to them, and correspondence with others having a real practical slant. Anything that you're writing, any information you're sourcing has this real practical slant to it, and thinking about the mechanical details of things, getting really quite detailed, quite analytical about things. And Mars is also in that sector there until the 28th. You being of assistance, you coordinating with others, but actually you being happier, being left to yourself, being given the elbow room to just get on with it the way you want to do it on your own. And any tension might come wherever Mars goes. There's likely to be a little bit of conflict. Any tension might come from others sort of kind of getting in your way or breathing down your neck as you feel it, or just being obstructive or slow. So if it's to do with work, or it might be to do with health matters, yours or somebody else's, and again, conflict over opinions or remedies or techniques in both areas actually. And just be careful that you don't overdo it, that you don't get stressed out in that area of work and health, because it would be easy to do with Mars there. And because of taking on too much, spreading yourself too thin, you could make yourself unwell. And so just be careful there, and also accidents, Mars is the planet of accidents as well. So you'll have to be working harder. There's no doubt about that, but you're growing from it, you're learning from it actually, and probably you're getting some credit building up as well, even though it might not be shooting to stardom all at once. You're just getting the savings built up, the credit built up there, and that'll stand you in good stead later on. And you will appreciate that later on down the line. Now, Mercury has been in that area since the back end of May, keeping your mind focused on those sorts of things, but actually Mercury is going to move out of there on the 9th. And so between the 9th and the 24th, Mercury skips through your opposite sign Leo, And then communications, personal or professional, in close interactions, are going to intensify, going to heat up. And you could be clicking with someone else. You could be really appreciating their opinions on things, their feedback, exchanging information there, and you could be intrigued or less than impressed by somebody's slant on things, but at least it helps you to clarify your own, to sharpen up your own point of view. And you yourself could be very much viewed as the one with the knowledge, the one who's got the advice, the one who's the go-between, maybe the one who's the guide, the one who is putting the information out there. You could be seen more like that during that period there. And then from the 24th until the end of the month, Mercury moves again, and then discussions, ideas and research tend to be more strategic. Your thinking starts to get deeper, and you could be thinking along, you could be sensing really more than thinking actually, and somebody's influence or opinion or behavior or example or their work, their information that they've given you can really trigger something within you. This is a good time for research, boning up on things, and maybe you really connect on a deeper level with some kind of knowledge, I would say, with Mercury there. And also you could be feeling getting quite enthusiastic, really quite passionate about something or someone, or somebody could be getting enthusiastic about you, but your feelings are just that little bit nearer the surface. However, so are your instincts, your deeper instincts, your deeper kind of gut knowing nearer the surface. So just try to follow that. Venus is possibly manifesting as an influence which might help you out in a material way, financially, or with resources, and that means with Venus there until the 17th that the negotiations could go well. Also deeper relationships, you connecting with somebody else, feeling that you can put your cards on the table in safety, in a confidential way, that is well highlighted. Some of you will shift into deeper feelings. I was going to say more commitment, but probably not. The deeper feelings, something isn't that casual for you in an emotional sense, but also depending on your natal chart and your inability to manifest what you want, this can be a good transit for you materially, with material resources. And you can, things might just become more involved, whatever that's about, whether that's to do with external things like the material side of life with finances or property or possessions, or internally with your connection with another in an emotional sense. And it's a good time to have a heart-to-heart talk. It's a very, very good time to get confidential advice, to give it also, to give confidential advice, or to give maybe guidance, or to seek guidance. And this period may bring about a shift and a new chapter in a relationship. And then from the 17th, places and faces at a distance may have more appeal to you. Then you are reaching out further, and there could be a love relationship of some kind connected to somebody at a distance. So having more connection with them, whether that's family, whether that's romance, spouse, whatever. And also it could be somebody whose expertise or knowledge you admire, or you aspire to, or you just value, really. You just value that. And also somebody, those out there, could be valuing you. more. You feel more valued by somebody or several people. It can be. Why not have a whole stadium full of them, who really are sending out those appreciative vibes, across the airways to you. And an important relationship could actually be linked to that kind of a long distance connection, or be centered around an academic kind of environment, or a specialist information type of environment. So yes, and publications, they're very well starred from the 17th onwards. Some of you might like to know, and also could benefit you materially, particularly from the 17th onwards as well, although I would say probably all month. And the sun is in your opposite sign, as I say, so mutual interactions to a degree are going to be taking very much of your attention, and that's up until the 23rd, and then the sun shifts into an area where you're giving deeper attention, more sensitive attention, being bit more tentative maybe and cautious, but also intuitively gauging things with others, or gauging things with your priorities, and also which is the best, how is the best way for you to be moving forwards here. Saturn is in a long transit in Scorpio at the top of your solar chart. This means that you are gradually chipping away at redefining your place in the world and your life direction, and this is the time of the harvest for you, Aquarius, and you're going to reap what you've sown in the past. So if you've sown well, then you'll be reaping that, maybe going back to something in the past that you were connected to very strongly before. And you'll be restructuring your world in an outer sense, very much so, but also obviously it will have to be in an inner sense, that's to say from your very sort of foundations up, your domestic setup, your point on the map, etc., could also be involved here. And you could go back, if you're old enough, for 28, 29 years, and see what was happening then when that transit was around, to see, to compare that to what's going on now and what happened next. And you Aquarians born 24th to 28th of January, or with 4 to 8 degrees rising of Aquarius rising, are going to feel this energy the most this month. There's a lot going on in the sky. There's the grand trine alignment in the sky, and also now we've got another one, the T-square, or as I call it, the working triangle, coming on and really pushing that energy this month, making that energy more available. It's a very creative energy in your chart. It's a vibration which positively supports imagination, creativity, innovation, innovative thinking, and also could improve your material financial circumstances, give you deeper insight into something, and really get you prioritizing perhaps in a different kind of a way, and seeing what is of the utmost value to you in your life, which maybe isn't what it used to be. And new work possibilities are on the horizon and could connect you to travel or to another culture. And this month, particularly, this T-square working triangle energy is really going to shove this very sort of lazy or very wondrous grand trine energy into more dynamism, and it will then shift the energy into this wave of power. So you can actually tap into that those areas that I've just mentioned this month, and whatever I said about it last month. And so how well we use this opportunity is up to us, of course, because the T-square part of it, the working triangle, is quite conflicting. It is an awkward energy. However, it's got heat in it. It's an engine that drives the bigger, more positive energy, and so it'll be up to you whether you just get snarled up in the machinations of the pistons going up and down, or whether you actually enjoy being able to sit back and steer the car because the engine's pushing the wheels along. So whether you put your awareness where the tension is or where this superconductor of this positive energy lies is up to you. And this transit will be exact on August the 9th, but it'll be felt throughout the whole of the month, particularly felt by you Aquarians born end of July and the beginning of, end of January, beginning of February. And it'll really be lining up from the 28th onwards when Mars flips past there and triggers that alignment in advance, a little bit in advance of Jupiter. And that's it for August. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, have a look at the forecast for those. It'll add to or subtract from what I've said here. And also, if you want to know what the slower moving outer planets are doing and you want to see which part of your sign they may be affecting, then go to my website. I just update that every month. And I'll see you the next time.